I need one of these. I'm trying to catch a fish, and you're trying to figure out, what do I do with all this stuff? Where do I put it? Where do I keep it? That's the point of today's Tackle Tuesday. We're going to talk about how to store all this stuff. Be right back. Sean here with Rugged Outdoors, bringing the best of the outdoors to you. On Tuesday, we focus on tackle and all things fishing. So if you're new here, consider subscribing by hitting the Rugged Outdoors icon right here. At any point during the video as well, check out the notes down below in the description for more information about the products and the things that we use and talk about in this video. Today we're going to be talking about storage. So, you know, one of the biggest challenges that I run across is how to store these things, soft plastics. We have tons of these things in different colors, different shapes, sizes, in the whole 9 yards. And I've tried lots of different strategies. I've gone from trying this using Ziploc bags to store these. I've stored them just by throwing them in the bottom of the boxes. I didn't know what to do. So I've come up with a new strategy that I like, and that's what I want to talk about and show you today. So I started using these Plano tackle boxes, the waterproof stowaway boxes. They come in two different sizes, the ones that we're going to be talking about. You have a thin one, like this. In this case, I store drop shot worms, or they come in the deep ones, like this one here. So what I've done is I'll start with the drop shot one. They've got these great seals all the way around it. And you can see here what I've done is I take them out of the packaging. You have some capability. They come with little sliders. You can adjust the sizes. I just put them all down the middle, and I can put the worms and different ones in here. It's a little disorganized, but you can see I've separated them by color. And again, it's my organizational tactic for this one, but they fit in here nicely. They retain their smells. I can smell the garlic and stuff on this one. They seal up nice and easily. And you'll see I use a little Dymo label maker in here as well to label these, and I'll show you here in a minute how we store those in the box. Here's the deep box that I use. You can see here I organize it by colors, makes it super easy. When I need a bait, I reach into my box, grab the one that says Creature Baits, and pull whatever bait out I want. A lot of times too, if I know that I'm in a hot spot and I'm catching a good number of fish, some of these baits last longer than others, I'll just leave this box right on the deck of the boat, and it makes it easy for me to grab them. I don't worry, it's not going to blow away by the wind by just leaving the bag out. So it keeps it nice and fresh, keeps it easy to do, and retain the storage for it. That's probably pretty loud. But anyway, you can see I just label them. I do, you know, I've got my chunks and trailers in one. I've got my stick baits in another one. And again, they all follow the same kind of model, really, of, you can see the ones I use a lot of, green pumpkin, and then I have other colors here. I just usually go down the middle depending upon what I'm storing in them. Like you saw in the earlier one with the creature baits, I had that one used where I used more separators on it. So, you know, for soft plastics, that's a fantastic way of storing them. You know, when you look inside my rod locker, I've got them all lined up with the labels up top. You can see it pretty easily. I can reach in, grab what I need, and just keep fishing. You know, another item to try to organize is your terminal tackle. Hooks, weights, sinkers, bullet weights, you name it, glass beads, trying to figure out how do I keep all that organized. So Plano also makes this great box right here. It's got some good snaps on it, keeps all this stuff in here. And you'll see this is their terminal tackle organizer. I've got hook sizes from 1/0, 2/0, 3/0, 4/0, 5/0, 6/0. You can tell I don't ever use that hook. Bullet weights, different organized. All along got my nail weights, glass beads all in here, swivels, stuff for my Carolina rigs, and I've got even a spot for my miscellaneous type hooks and stuff that I'll use. This is probably the heaviest box in my entire boat because of all the different weights that we have that I use. I probably could do it a little differently, but this is what I got. So, but this, it's all pre-configured already. You don't really have to figure out what goes where. It's all labeled on the inside. You can see here, like on the 6/0 hook, you can see where it's labeled and say, oh, that's where the 6/0 hooks go. And so it's pretty straightforward. You don't have to stick with that. Obviously, you can organize it anyway. Now, another great box that I use is this Plano little box. The model number's down in the description if you want to look at what this one's for, what it's called. But this one is another waterproof box that I use. I don't use it as frequently, but because it stores my insurance for my boat, fishing permits for certain lakes, even my fishing license I have all in here. I even put some aspirin in here somewhere. It looks like I need to no, there it is. I'll keep some aspirin in here as well for those days that sometimes just get a headache. But this is a great waterproof box. In some cases they make a slightly bigger one as well that you could put your phone in if you wanted to, or your wallet, whatever. But I leave this one, stays in my day box usually, in case you need it in a tournament. They want to see your insurance, or the game warden comes by and wants to see your license. And two, I don't have to remember, oh, put my license in the boat. It always stays in here. Because if I'm fishing, I'm usually in this boat. If I'm in a different boat, I simply go to my boat, grab this box, throw it in my tackle box that I take with me to when I'm fishing out of someone else's boat, and I'm set to go. I know I have everything I need. So it's really nice. It keeps everything nice and waterproof, easy to use. All right, so I have another problem. And some people call this an addiction or just an issue. My case is I have a few crankbaits. And as you can see here, I've got 4 different boxes, all to cover crankbaits. This year, I actually switched to almost all Rapala crankbaits. So I've got one for deep crankbaits here, another one for medium, another one for shallow, and then another one for square bills. Square bills where I have the problem, and you can take a look here at my box. Not all Rapala, a bunch of different kinds in here that I like, but I try to organize them by color as best as I can, based on how much space I have. I almost always have at least 2 of every crankbait. Reason why is inevitably I'll be catching fish on one, something will happen, I'll lose one, and off it goes. So I usually buy 2, some cases 3, depending on how frequently I use that particular bait. So easy way to store them: put them in, grab them, and go. Tie them on. Yeah, when you start getting 3 or 4 in here, it gets a little bit, but it doesn't take much to unhook them from that. So again, it's the Pro Latch models, and you'll see I go ahead and put a label. I just use a Dymo label maker. I think it's like 30 bucks online or something. I'll put a link down in the description for it. I just keep it in the garage where I store the boat. Pretty easy to use. I print out what I want, I stick it on. They last pretty good. These are new labels this year. About every other year I'll go out and change them out. I don't know about you all, but I love jigs. So I have a lot of different boxes. This one in particular is for flipping jigs. But these are the Plano 3700 Pro Latch boxes. They have a couple different kinds in this size, but I really like the Pro Latch model better than I like the others, because I just feel it's much more secure. This lasts pretty well. So you can see I've got all these different compartments. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 24 compartments that I could use in here. Again, you can adjust these by just taking out the sliders when you get them and make it any size you want. But I found this is a great size for, in my case, flipping jigs. I've got one of these for football jigs. I've got one of these for finesse jigs. I even got one of these for wacky jigs and all that kind of stuff. Another one that I use, you'll see it's the same model, the Pro Latch 3700 from Plano. This case is all of my hard baits. This one, I have one specifically for jerk baits. You'll see I've got it labeled, so I've got my different jerk baits in here. Some people say I have too many. Some folks say I don't have enough. Who knows, right? But I've got all these different jerk baits. It makes it easy to grab these and open them up and be able to see what I need. Now, another specialty one that they make is this Plano Elite one for spinner baits and buzz baits. Now I'm going to show you this one. I like it. Again, it's used the Pro Latches. It's not organized like it should be. They've got nice little hooks and hangers you can put and hook all of your spinner baits right here, and then you can put some of your buzz baits here. I'll be honest, when I'm fishing, I grab a buzz bait out or I grab a spinner bait, I tie it on. If I'm swapping them out, I just kind of throw them back in, and then I'm like, oh crud. So usually off time I'll come out and try to organize them. Obviously I haven't done that yet. But this is a great box for storing your buzz baits and your spinner baits. It doesn't hold as many buzz baits as I would like. You can change that if you want. But again, for me, I don't fish spinnerbaits and buzzbaits quite as often as I should, but this is a great way to store those. The thing that I do is how I organize my center rod box. You'll see here I've got everything labeled, all in a particular order. The way that I do it before every tournament or fishing trip I take is I will organize my box in the order closest to this piece back here based on what I think I'm going to use. It makes it much easier when I'm sitting down here in this spot to reach in and grab what I want without having a bunch of stretching. I can simply just reach over, grab what I want, and yes, that means every single trip I typically reorganize it. Right now this video is being shot in April. I'm not using frogs and rat topwater baits that much right now, so they're at the very end. I will start using crankbaits more. I use jigs more right now. Jerk baits are kind of in the middle, and you see I've just got them nice and organized so that I know exactly where everything's going to be. So when I open up this box, I can reach in, grab what I need, and start fishing again. So, you know, it's super critical that when you are in a tournament particularly, and even not in a tournament, but more so in a tournament, that you get really organized. It allows you to be more efficient on the water, and allows you to have more time fishing versus searching for inside of a rod box. All right, so there's my strategy for organizing my soft plastics and my hard baits inside of my boat. It's specific to how I like things. Hopefully it's helpful for you, and it maybe take some pieces from it that you like. Feel free to throw away the things you don't like. You know, there's lots of different strategies for how do you organize your tackle inside your boat. I'm linking to a video here that someone else did about how to do soft plastics using Ziploc bags. And I tried that method. It didn't work well for me. To me, it just was a little too disorganized and just wasn't very efficient for me to find baits. But it maybe worked for you. So that's why I'm going to link to that video up here. You know, again, this is my strategy. Hopefully it works well for you if you're interested in it. Please take a look down in the descriptions below and you'll find some other links to all the different products that I talked about in this video. As well, if you like what you saw, please hit that like button. Consider subscribing by hitting the Rugged Outdoors button, and I look forward to seeing you on the next Tackle Tuesday.